Yeah. In a Jar Football Show. Episode 174, I believe. I'm your host, Clark Dupree. And this is our football program where we rant about the most recent happenings in college football. We are live every single weekday, Monday through Friday, around 6 Eastern. Today's featured talking point in this short 15-minute episode: will the NCAA revise the targeting penalty and the ramifications of it? That's going to be our featured discussion. There's a bit of contract uncertainty in the NFL. As you can hear, I got a bit of the sniffles. Heart rate variance is on point. So I don't think that I'm sick. In fact, I might guarantee that I ain't sick, but I sound like it. And up here, I feel like it. But, you know, I'm still feeling okay. The reason this episode's going to be short, about 15 minutes, is, again, I'm late. I say 6 Eastern. It's 6:49 Eastern right now. And that's most days. I need to revise it, put it closer to 6:30, but that's aside from the point. That's why we only got 15 minutes. I'm going to jiu-jitsu. Tonight it's wrestling practice. Wrestling. Learning some maneuvers from the feet. How to get somebody on the ground so that you can use your jiu-jitsu and engineer a dominant position. I mean, my nose is plugged up like I can't believe right now. You guys hear that? When I inhale? It's probably pretty annoying, huh? So, and I forgot to fill up my water. Damn! At least we're only... I know we've gotten a little shorter lately. Episodes a little shorter. It's not in season anymore. When we're in season, I can go solo for an hour a day. Easy. That's the last of my water. A little bit left. Just a gulp or two. So, what's going on, guys? No, I'm just kidding. So, let's talk about it. Targeting. The NCAA. And again, I don't know when these meetings happen for the NCAA. I don't know how many, like, what kind of ramifications they have these days, because it seems like the NCAA just has no authority at all anymore. But it seems like they are having the meeting today and tomorrow. This is the NCAA about possibly ending the automatic ejection that comes from targeting. You guys have probably, if you're in the chat watching college football, ever in your life, you've probably seen a player who got hit for targeting in the last 5-10 years and got kicked out of the game. A lot of times happens in the first quarter of the game. And sometimes it's the best player on that team's defense that gets kicked out of the game on a judgment call by the official. And sometimes the targeting calls are bullshit. So all of a sudden, your best player is trying to, on defense especially, is trying to come up and make a play in a big game. The ref makes a judgment, and after one judgment call penalty, your best player is gone, out for the game. So before we even get into it, I think it's pretty evident what the outcome of these meetings with the NCAA is going to be. It's a ridiculous rule, and I don't think it's gotten enough attention up to this point. So here's what you would replace a targeting penalty with in football. You treat it like basketball. Flagrant 1, flagrant 2. Okay? If you get a flagrant 1, You ain't kicked out. You're good. It's not blatant. You're not trying to hurt the guy. You're just trying to make a play. Everybody's, I mean, y'all probably understand flagrant 1 versus flagrant 2 in basketball. Anytime there's a flagrant 2 in basketball, your boy's up to some demonic shit normally. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to headbutt him into testicles or, backhand his bicuspid area. Flagrant 2 is bad. And I think that this is perfect to treat targeting the same way in football. So flagrant 1, this is the proposition. This is what we're meeting on next 2 days with your NCAA. Flagrant 1, 15-yard penalty, no ejection. Flagrant 2, you get a 15-yard penalty and an ejection. Like something absolutely catastrophically severe. Again, you go back to a flagrant 2 in basketball. If I'm trying to undercut your legs on a fast break as you're going up with the ball to try and lay it in, that's some demon shit. That's going to warrant a flagrant 2. I'll be interested to see how it translates over to football. I think it's an eye test thing. I think everybody in here can agree. I think that's an eye test thing for an official. What was dangerous about the eye test up to now, and it's good they're changing the rule, but what was dangerous about the eye test up to now is that a guy could literally be kicked out of a college football game on a judgment call. And sometimes it'd be your best player. It totally changes the complexion of the football game. So the NCAA Rules Committee. So that's probably a separate group of people than these idiots that are stewing on or not stewing on transfer portal, NIL, eligibility. Eligibility department, NCAA, they're just idiots. They're not just idiots because they get nothing done. They're idiots because of what they're focused on. Bacon soda, thank you for the sub. They're idiots because of what they're focused on. Shout out all the lemon lover just subscribed. You should too if you haven't. But you think about, like, they're not just idiots. You're talking about the NCAA eligibility folks right now. They're not just idiots because they don't get anything done. They're idiots because they're trying to press players and coaches and programs right now about a rule that was implemented in 1974, 50-year-old rule. They're trying to vacate Indiana's run this year. Yep, they're trying to, because they're saying that there's guys that played for, and they're saying this for Reggie Bush, I believe. They're saying this. What's the other damn program they're trying to press and vacate wins on a 51-year-old rule? I know for a fact it's Indiana from this season, and it might be Reggie Bush. There's a couple others. I can't remember them. But basically the NCAA is trying to press them because they beat him in court. So Kurt Signetti had players on his Indiana team that the NCAA ruled ineligible prior to this past season. The players take the NCAA to court, and the U.S. legal system, or the state legal system, I don't know who decides on it, rules in favor of the player, says you could play. So if we think about the hierarchy of power, really, here, you'd think you would put the federal government and the state governments above the NCAA. The NCAA is trying to punish Indiana program among many other folks. I don't know why Reggie Bush is one of them, but pretty sure I saw Reggie Bush. They're trying to punish these programs and these guys because they beat the NCAA in court. That's what they're focused on. And that's why the NCAA is where they're at. They're probably all retards for sure. Just looking at what they haven't been able to get done. But then we look at the things they're focusing on, the minutia, the ridiculous idea that the NCAA has more jurisdiction than a U.S. court or a state court. That's how delusional these people are. I digress. We're here to talk about targeting, and we're already 10 minutes in. You had Xavier Lucas get kicked out in the national championship game. Got a targeting call in the semifinal against Miami. Had to sit the first half of the national championship. I don't remember that story. Okay. So the current rule, we've already discussed all of this. Targeting one, bang, bang, hit, contact on head or neck, but no predatory intent. Predatory intent. You're on some demon shit. Again, that's what this is. We've already explained that. Predatory intent. That's. I'm going out. Hey, man. Oh, hell. When you go out there, man, and you just got some predatory intent, it's the wrong kind of day for the other team. It's a bad day to be in the other color. I got some predatory intent, man. I'm going to come up on that. I'm going to break on that football, and I'm going to try to break his neck. Tell him about it. Targeting two, predatory hit, launch, aiming for chin. Stadium gasps. So that's when you get kicked. That's when you get booted. Aiming for the chin. And who the hell knows, man? Like with targeting, you might have a fall guy on defense somewhere in America, a real heated rivalry game, and maybe one program wants to really set the tone. Like think about I think it was 2007 or 2008 national championship game, the BCS national championship between Florida and Oklahoma. I can't remember where that game was played. First series of the game, I think Sam Bradford throws it deep down the sideline. And Florida had a safety named Major Wright. And he talks about this on the Swamp Kings documentary on Netflix. He said, I wanted to strike fear into their team. And then he pauses for a second. He goes, fear. When Sam Bradford throws it up to this guy down the sideline, and Major Wright says, I didn't want the ball. I wanted him. Pause. No diddy. And he just lights him up. And I wonder if a hit like that would not be considered. He would definitely be ejected in the with the college football rules as they stand today. But when they implement this new targeting rule system in college football, flagrant 1, flagrant 2, I'd wonder if that hit would be a flagrant 2 or not. Hits like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you think about maybe a program picks a fall guy. And they say, look, hey, the coach talks to him before the game. They say, look, we're trying to set the motherfucking tone here. Okay, you're not the best player on our defense, but you add a lot of value to this team. With that being said, we need you to go out there and set the motherfucking tone today. Take somebody's chin out. Take the damn skull off of their chest. You know, can you do that? Can you do that for me? Can you take a flagrant 2 for me? We'll take care of you. We won't discipline you nothing. And don't tell nobody we had this conversation. but we need you to set the tone. Because you couldn't do something like that with your very best player on defense. You just couldn't. And you would really have to do it with like a safety. You'd have to, if you're a coach and you're saying, like, look, man, I don't care about what people say about safety, CTE, all that stuff's real. I understand that. But football's a game of trying to break somebody else's will. Whether that's the will of the guy across from you, like in a one-on-one matchup, receiver, DB, D-lineman, O-lineman, linebacker, running back. But you're also able to break the collective will of the other team. You got me? That's like, there's levels to it. You break the individual will of the weakest links on a team. That's what you do first. And then as the weaker links break, then you can start breaking the stronger links until the entire collective team across from you is completely demoralized and mentally, spiritually done. You want to do that in football as quick as you possibly can. So I think in some cases, you obviously don't want to hurt anybody purposefully. I'm talking about injuring somebody else. Like bounties and all that shit, like that's fucked up. I've said the F word like 4 times already. The bounties, all that, it's messed up. But just one hit at the beginning of a game, ideally when it's a more intense rivalry, you hate the other team, maybe there's a lot of stakes, a lot of people watching, maybe maybe a SEC game, something like that, and you're the coach and you take a safety, maybe you start a backup guy that can really lay the hammer, like something like that, and you just talk to him in a corner before the game and say, look, I don't want you to try and injure nobody. I want you to try and stay safe out there. But throw that top of your helmet at the bottom of his chin first series. You got me? This is about setting the tone. I don't know. I guarantee, and don't let nobody know that we had this conversation. But I would think that those conversations have happened in college football before. And I understand why they happen, because you're going beyond the rules of the game a lot of the time. That sounds bad. You're trying to break somebody's will, and at least on a subconscious level, if I'm on a team and one of my boys gets hit like that early, at least on a subconscious level, I'm saying, oh, it's that kind of game. Coach, don't put me in. So anyway, that's what I have to offer on it. Damn, I'm already at 18 minutes. I knew you got to the NFL stuff. Maybe we'll save it to tomorrow, because I'm going to be late to jiu-jitsu, guys. It's my fault because I'm late going live. But we did hit our feature discussion. We did do what we said we were going to do today, other than the NFL contract talk. It's really Aaron Rodgers, whether he's going to come back to Pittsburgh, C.J. Stroud, whether Houston is going to trade him or not, and he was terrible in that division game, so it'll probably leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Max Crosby, who we already talked about, there's a lot of uncertainty around that, and A.J. Brown, who I don't think is going to return to Philly. But we'll talk about all this stuff. I'm anticipating an early show tomorrow. I know we're going to have an early show tomorrow. I'm flying to Miami around 4 Eastern. Got a buddy that's getting married. And I don't do weddings that often anymore. It's a good buddy. So, I am anticipating, and I was supposed to get on my calendar and draw out tomorrow morning. I have not done it yet. But I would anticipate maybe noon Eastern tomorrow. If you enjoyed our show today, consider hitting the subscribe button. I get it if you ain't sold yet. You will be. Check out the channel. Do whatever you got to do. Every episode's on a channel. It's vertical, so it's best if you watch it on your smartphone. You can watch it on a computer if you want, though, be my guest. We do that so that you can discover us on a live shorts feed every day. So until we're big enough, get used to vertical. Or subscribe, because then that'll get us closer to being a horizontal YouTube podcast. So noon Eastern tomorrow. That's when I anticipate we'll be live. Subscribe if you want so you don't miss it. And bare minimum, double tap the screen. And if you don't do either, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, brothers. Neck is on the audio. You guys know this? Anybody LSU fan? Oh! That's why I like this song right here, baby. Dude, I went to Ole Miss LSU last year in Oxford, and every time I'd see LSU fans, I go, oh, and then they would finish it. I love Neck. Let the band play it. All right, hey. Noon tomorrow, noon Eastern probably tomorrow. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Subscribe so you don't miss the rest of our show Monday through Friday around 6 Eastern. A lot of days we're late, but we show up. All right, love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.